Meditation can be powerful, but it isn't a cure-all, especially when it comes to deep childhood wounds. In this 10-minute video, we explore Carl Jung's teachings on the unconscious, the shadow, and the path to individuation, revealing why true healing requires conscious integration, not just silence. Have you ever felt like no matter how much you meditate, journal, or affirm your way through life, something still hurts? You sit in silence, trying to breathe your way out of the pain, but deep down, there's a wound that refuses to heal. If that resonates, you're not alone. There's a powerful myth in the self-help world that enough stillness can silence your past. But here's the truth: you can't meditate away your childhood trauma, because trauma doesn't dissolve in silence. It reveals itself there. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Today, we're diving deep into that unconscious, into the parts of you that got frozen in time, into the shadows of your childhood, unseen, unhealed, and unheard. So stay with me. Let's explore what true healing really means and how to walk the path toward wholeness. 1. Why meditation alone isn't enough. Meditation is beautiful. It quiets the mind, opens space for awareness, and brings a sense of presence. But trauma, especially childhood trauma, isn't stored in the thinking mind. It's stored in the body. In your nervous system. In your emotional responses. In the way you flinch at certain times, withdraw in intimacy, or sabotage the good that tries to come in. Have you ever caught yourself reacting in a way that felt disproportionate, angry, distant, terrified, and thought, "Why did that hit me so hard?" That's trauma, and silence on its own doesn't unravel it. It may reveal it, but it doesn't resolve it. Jung believed that the unconscious mind doesn't disappear through awareness alone. It demands integration. 2. What Jung means by the shadow. Let's talk about a concept central to Jung's work: the shadow. The shadow is every part of yourself you've rejected, hidden, or denied to survive, especially as a child. It's the anger you weren't allowed to express, the sadness you had to suppress to keep the peace, the needs you silenced to feel loved. As children, we adapt to survive, but in doing so, we exile pieces of who we are. Jung taught that unless we integrate the shadow, make it conscious, and give it space, it will act out unconsciously. So if you've ever felt stuck in cycles you can't break, if you've ever wondered why you keep attracting the same painful relationships, it might not be bad luck. It might be your shadow crying out to be seen. 3. Why childhood trauma lives in patterns. Childhood trauma isn't always about dramatic events. Sometimes it's the absence of what you needed most: safety, affection, permission to be yourself. And because those wounds happened before you had the words to explain them, they became patterns, not memories. You recreate them over and over. You might choose partners who remind you of emotionally unavailable parents. You might work endlessly, hoping achievement will bring the love you never received. You might be terrified of rest because as a child, stillness meant vulnerability. Ask yourself this: what part of you have you been ignoring just to keep others comfortable? This is the work Jung pointed to, not fixing yourself, but meeting the inner child who never felt seen. 4. The path to healing. Conscious integration. True healing isn't about silencing the pain. It's about listening to it. What if the fear you feel today is a younger version of you asking for your presence? What if that anxiety isn't something to escape, but an invitation to reconnect? Jung called this process individuation, becoming whole by integrating every part of yourself, especially the ones you pushed away. That means acknowledging the grief, the rage, the longing. It means holding space for the wounded child within you, not dismissing them with silence, but offering what they never had: compassion and truth. So how do we start? Here are a few simple, grounded steps. Journal from the voice of your inner child. Ask them, what did you need that you didn't receive? Pay attention to your emotional triggers. Don't just manage them, explore where they come from. Seek therapy or somatic work, not just mindfulness practices. Your body remembers what your mind forgot. Use meditation as a tool to listen, not to numb. Let it reveal, not avoid. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly chose yourself over others? Expectations, that question alone, can begin to shift everything. 5. The myth of being over it. There's a pressure in our culture to move on, to be healed, to be high vibration, to be positive, but healing isn't a checklist. It's a relationship with yourself, with the parts of you you once had to abandon just to feel loved. Jung said, wholeness is not achieved by cutting off a portion of one's being, but by integration. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be honest. So, what would it look like for you to stop trying to fix yourself and start listening to yourself? What if your pain isn't something broken to be silenced, but something sacred to be held? You can't meditate away your childhood trauma, but you can meet it. You can walk toward it with compassion, with curiosity, with courage, and in doing so, you can become whole. Let this be your reminder. Healing isn't about erasing the past. It's about finally being there for the parts of you that lived it. If this video spoke to something inside you, I invite you to share it, leave a comment and let me know what part of you is ready to be seen today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications because this journey is just beginning. And remember, no matter how long it takes, you are worth the work. You always have been.